Welcome to A Guide to Every Deck in Modern. Today we're looking at Jund's Sacrifice. Jund's Sacrifice, or Jund's Sac, is a deck that seeks to abuse death and sacrifice effects with recursive creatures to whittle away the opponent's life total or deal burst damage. Bloodghast, Kroxa, the new red-black Obnixilis, and Seasoned Pyromancer serve as fodder for Goblin Bombardment, Grist, and Mayhem Devil. The damage these cards deal adds up very quickly. Though lacking in the disruptive elements found in traditional Jund, it's nonetheless capable of playing grindy games due to Seasoned Pyromancer, Grist, Kroxa, and Collected Company, among other cards. The deck is swarmy and hard to disrupt with 1-for-1 removal. Like Hardened Scales, Jund's Sac is math-intensive and capable of winning from sparse board states. Take the following as an example. Your opponent is at 18 life and has no blockers or interaction. You control Mayhem Devil and Goblin Bombardment, with a Seasoned Pyromancer in your hand alongside Bloodghast, and a relevant non-land card, and a fetch land. How do you win? Take a moment to consider. First, cast Seasoned Pyromancer, discarding Bloodghast and the other non-land card to create 2 elemental tokens. Play the fetch land, which returns Bloodghast to the battlefield. Sacrifice Bloodghast, Pyromancer, and the elemental tokens to Goblin Bombardment. Mayhem Devil triggers 4 times and your opponent takes 8 damage total, remaining at 10 life. Activate the fetch land. Devil triggers and Bloodghast returns, your opponent is now at 9 life. Attack with Devil and Bloodghast for 5 damage, now at 4 life. Sacrifice Bloodghast and then Devil to Bombardment. Devil triggers twice, opponent takes 4 damage, remaining at 0 life. GG. Sideboarding and Weaknesses. The deck is vulnerable to graveyard hate since so many of its cards rely on the graveyard. Despite all the sacrificing, Jund's Sac can be disrupted by creature removal or blockers since it specifically needs Bombardment or Mayhem Devil to really put the pressure on. Any hate cards that take the form of creatures are more valuable than spells since the deck wants sacrifice fodder. It also lacks many of the disruptive cards of traditional Jund or black decks and so can be overtaken by combo and big mana decks. Tips and tricks. Kroxa and Endurance can be sacrificed to Goblin Bombardment with their death triggers on the stack. Mayhem Devil plus Goblin Bombardment makes every creature you sacrifice deal 2 damage. If you intend to sacrifice all of your creatures, sacrifice Devil last so it triggers for each of them. Mayhem Devil also triggers from your opponent's permanents, such as when they activate fetch lands. Fetch lands return Bloodghast to the battlefield twice. You can sacrifice it to Bombardment or Grist in between playing the land and fetching with it. Bloodghast gets haste if your opponent's life total is 10 or less. See if you can damage them before going to combat. You never know what you're going to hit with Collected Company, but you should probably cast it before combat to see what you get. Keep in mind that Seasoned Pyromancer's discard is mandatory. Grist is a creature everywhere besides the battlefield, so can be found by Collected Company or returned with Unearth. Since Ragavan is legendary, you can alleviate drawing multiple copies by sacrificing one of them. Don't forget Ignoble Hierarch's Exalted trigger, often synergizing with Hasty Ragavans or Bloodghasts. Grist can sacrifice creatures, make tokens, and ultimate for a lot of damage. It's important to figure out which line you should play towards in different circumstances. If you only have one creature and activate Grist's -2, your opponent can respond by killing the creature since sacrificing it is part of the ability's resolution. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Jund's Sac. I want to thank my fellow players in the Magic community for whom sharing their experiences helps make these guides possible. You can find additional resources, such as an up-to-date deck list, in the description. If you think I left out anything important or got something wrong, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned to see what deck we look at next time.